Let's talk a little weather engineering this morning. What's shaped like a jet, but from the naked eye and how high it is, it's not really that high. In other words, a jet that small is supposed to be further away. That's letting you know that this is a UAV drone. They're using UAV drones for weather manipulation. This so-called jet, the distance that it's away, is supposed to be a little bit bigger than what it is. It's supposed to be, in other words, the size that it is supposed to be 2 to 2.5 that size that it is in the sky right now. 2.5 sizes bigger than what it is. Okay, here goes another one coming across. There's a whole nother one right here. Hold on. Let me stop so you can barely see them. I'm waiting, giving the other one time to come from behind the trees just to show you that these are two different planes. I'll wait till this one gets. Let me step back because this car. I'm waiting. I'm looking over to the other side to see when the other. Okay, there you go. Now look, watch. I'm gonna switch. Switch over here. You can barely see it over the telephone line. The top telephone line to the right. The right. Now it's going below. But yeah, that's a distance away. Oh, here comes another. Hold on. Now see, look, I just went from this way, and I went over this way following the one that was coming this way. But look, we got one that's going the opposite way now. You see what I'm saying? I just followed one out going this way, came over here, this one, and then look, this one right here. And like I said, using the naked eye, the distance that is away is supposed to be 2.5 size bigger. Talking about the jet. That is not a jet. That's a UAV drone, maybe like a SUV size. And they all come. I call these the buffer. I call them the buffer planes because they're not throwing out a whole bunch of steam, smoke, whatever you want to call it at one time. But I'm gonna tell you something about this, and you can look at in my videos. I have them flying just like this, where they're shooting a little bit out the tail end like this right here, but they're in sequence. Matter of fact, the video is titled that way. Please look at this. That's the title of the video. Please look at this. You know what I mean? You look up that video right there, you'll see them damn near side by side and following one another. They're not side by side, but they would be if one could catch up with the other. But they're not far away from each other. In other words, I'm holding the camera up, and I got them almost, you know what I'm saying, close together. But you know it's a sequence that airplanes are not gonna fly in. They're not gonna be that close to one another, flying in the sky. So you know, it's not a passenger jet. Even though it's shaped like a passenger jet, it's 2.5 times smaller than what the jet's supposed to be at the distance that is away. If you can understand what I'm saying. That's how you know that they have something to do with the geoengineering. And like I said, I call them the buffer planes because I guess they spraying in the sky. What, you know what I mean? They're spraying in the sky with like something like to keep it up. Like when they spray all them lines and everything, and they dissipate, they send those planes in to, like, how you say, keep whatever's in the air alive. What this is I hear? Sounds like a UAV drone. They sound like blowers. Yeah, I can hear it. But yeah, like I said, but you also look back at my videos, you can see I got videos and shorts where they basically sprayed the skies up. So anyone sees this video, check out my YouTube channel. You know, like I say, I report on two different things. I report on weather engineering, that's down here in Louisiana, and or you could say geoengineering. And I also report on these UAV, SUV-sized drones that's flown by the local sheriff and the city police, which I have harassment from the police right now. I got a video where I was recording. I had been recording the skies, and they sent 2 units to possibly snatch me. Good thing I looked up the street and noticed the headlights, and you can see the bumper guards, and I said in the video, let me get out the street before they try to kidnap me. I got a few views on that, like over 700, but you know, it's a start. Like I said, check out my videos. I appreciate it. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you may. I surely appreciate you. I can guarantee you I will be having some better content in the future, because it won't be long before they start spraying the skies again. Oh, and by the way, I got a video where I was showing where it was hail, supposed to be hail dropping, after the skies had been sprayed and sprayed for a week. We woke up one morning and it was like crumb like hail. But you know, when it comes to hail dropping, hail drops along with water drops in between. There were no water drops period in between. It was just all little ice, little bitty balls. They called them gripples or gripple, whatever it was. In other words, they tried to put a spin on it, the local news down here, because you know, when it comes to the weatherman, you know, he's in cahoots with geo and weather engineering. Oh yes, anybody didn't know? The weatherman is under a federal gag order. I'm letting the public know that every weatherman is under a federal gag order. He cannot tell you what's going on for real. Hit that like button and possibly subscribe. Thank you very much.